Recording is also started. So again, really sorry for the delay, but nevertheless, let's start. So the mock which we are going to conduct today is from your past paper exam, that is the Corjetz. That was the for the attempt of September 2023 exam. So this is the real past paper exam. So whatever your performance would be, you have to consider it that it is equivalent to the performance which is going to be in the exam of your upcoming attempt, right? So you have to keep it in mind that this practice session or this mock session, right, this will reflect your preparation or your performance which is right now at this stage, which is for the upcoming exam, right? So we have so as we have normally, we have the contents introduction, and this is the airline industry. We have overview, passenger type, airline types by service, airline type by business model, hub and spoke versus point to point travel, key air transport statistics 2000x2, flight management activities, industry challenges, KPIs, industry body. So this is all about the industry related information. And then we have the company related specific information, which is our case study related information, the background, growth, ownership, key resources, board structure, risk management, key risk, the extract of the website, the very usual thing which is in like every pre-scene, headline results, and the cost breakdown. So if I talk about the introduction, the introduction tells me that Corjetz, it is a low-cost regional airline business, right? It was established 20 years ago in Courland, a country located in the continent. So that means there is a continent named Hundria. In Hundria, we have the country named Courland, and in that company, we have a company, Corjetz. Okay. The thing is that it is world leading low cost airline. The company whose case study we are going to attempt, it is the world leading low cost airline and currently the second largest low cost airline business which is operating in the Hundria in terms of the passenger number. So we have the second largest passenger number in the continent. It operates nearly 1,000 routes. That means the destination over 30 countries across Hundria. In Hundria, they have around 1,000 destination. They operate through 1,000 destinations within the 30 countries across the Hundria. So in Hundria, there are many countries, right? Its head office is near city, based in the near city airport located in the south of Courland. Hundria is a politically stable and economically developed continent of the world. Most of the countries in the Hundria form a trading bloc with facilitates free trade and free movement of people within it. So basically in Hundria, the economy is very stable, the political environment is stable, and what they do, the countries in the Hundria, they form a block and they facilitate each others that you can come to our country and do the free trades without the tariff. And we all know, we all are very aware of the tariff word right now, being the geopolitical things which are going right now in the world. So we all know. So here they are saying that they are facilitating the free trade and the free movement for the people within the Hundria. Let me just check if I guess someone has unmuted it mic, right? Each country has its own currency and the currency of the Corjetz is dollar, right? There are two types of services in the airline industry, and Corjetz, it operates through a point-to-point service. Those who have ever traveled through the airline, they would know that there are two kinds of air routes. The one is the direct from your from where the journey start to the destination, and then we have the connecting flight kind of things, right? So the Corjetz, it operates on point to point. That means from the initiation to the destination, their flight does not stop at any point. Okay, this is their way of operation, meaning that it operates its flight directly between the destination. Okay, so the passenger do not have to travel or to change flight at hub airport to reach their destination. The place where all the flight stops, it called the hub. Okay, they all stops, and then the passengers can change the flight to the other destination wherever they wants to go, right? But Corjetz doesn't operate like this. It operates from one point to another point without stopping, so passenger do not have to change the airline or the destination, anything, right? This point to point thing help them to reduce its operating cost. It also keep low cost low through its no frill approach. We have already studied this thing in the strategic clock, that what the no frill strategy is and what are the nitty-gritties of it, right? It is basically the low cost and the low benefit strategy in very short explanation. This approach means that the flight meals are not provided unless it is paid for, right? It includes the automation of wide range of its processes, including booking, flight documentation, baggage drop, flight check-in. So these are the things which Corjetz has been doing so that it can reduce its cost. Obviously, if the processes are automated, then it will reduce your cost. It will make you efficient, right? Um, it has a profitable and popular portfolio of routes between over 130 airports across the Hungary. So obviously, for the airline, there are routes from one destination to another destination. So they are telling us that Corjet has the profitable and popular route portfolio. Okay, which comprises of 130 airports across the Hungary. So we have how many countries? Like we have many countries in the Hungary, but 130 airports from where we operate or the Corjets operate, it is profitable and popular. Mhm. Overview of the airline industry information. So this was the introduction of the company and a very brief information. Like this is the first pre-scene which we have discussed, and it has a lot of information about the company. The airline industry encompasses a wide range of businesses called airline, which offer an air transport services to customer. Okay, um, they carry both human passenger and cargo. So the air transport service means that you can travel by yourself as well, and you can also carry the or deliver the cargo through the air transport services which are offered by the airlines within the industry. So there are both two options available in this industry as well. Okay, commercial flights. The commercial flight, they transport the passengers, and the non-commercial flights, they are operated by the military. Okay, for the you can say to transport the military soldiers and the military ammunition and the equipment, everything. The airline industry forms just one sector of the wider aviation industry. So they are telling us that the aviation industry, it's a very huge industry, and within aviation industry there is one part that is called the airline sector. So that sector we are studying right now. Hmm? Okay, so they are telling us that the jet engine supplier, aircraft manufacturer, aerospace company, these all are the part of aviation. But right now we are just talking about the airline industry. Airline industry directly and indirectly supports trade, tourism, economic growth, because obviously if the people are traveling from one place to another place for tourism, for businesses, for trip, whatever it is, if the trade is happening through the air transport, they are shifting or delivering the cargo from one place to another place. Obviously this is a part of the trade and the economic activities, right? So the airline industry supports these things, so it has a major influence on the globalization in many other industries as well, because if the airline transport services are not available, then the globalization won't be possible, because how you would be delivering the your goods. There would be only one way, either by route, by land or by the sea. So the air transport service or the air transport option, it is convenient, it is fast, and it is safe as well, right? So this is how. it is very influential in the globalization aspect. Passenger types we are talking about, we have a leisure passenger. What they do, they are basically the passenger who travel on the holiday, either to stay in the hotel or holiday resort to relax or experience a local tourist attraction. So these are the leisure kind of leisure passenger, those who travel for the fun and the leisure activities, right? And then we have a business passenger. Obviously by name it is very clear that they travel for the work purposes, to attend the meeting or the conference. Both types of passenger have the different level of facilities, like both of the passenger gets the first class, economy class and the business class option in all the airlines, right? Now we have the some introduction about the like what are the facilities and what are the in and out of the first class service, the economy class services and the business class services. First class services, you have to pay very significantly and you receive a high quality of service. Obviously by name it is very clear. What is included in the services? Dedicated airport lounges, right? Lounges. That means that whenever you have arrived to the airport, like for the international flights, we all know that we have to arrive like 2 or 3 hours before. So after checking in, you have a huge time or the very long waiting time. Many people are just waiting on the seats. So for the first class passengers or the first class customers, they get the dedicated airport lounges. Okay, and large and comfortable in-flight seats, a big area for them for the seating in within the airline when they are traveling. Unlimited food and drink, they do not have to pay separately for it. And the business class passenger, they pay less than the first class passenger and receive slightly lower level of services. Okay, economy class passenger pay even less, and an economy price ticket normally includes standard seat, the normal one which we usually travels through, okay, with limited leg room. Obviously there is no extra space for your legs to you, so you can open them wide and relax. No, this is not available in the standard class option. Standard and limited in-flight food option, sometimes they are paid and sometimes if they are included within the ticket price, then they are very standard kind of or standard level, right? Not that much lavish or first class thing. We have the airline types by service, okay, and the airline type by business model. So when I talk about the services, we have three kinds of services: international airlines, the national airlines, and the regional airlines. Okay. The international airlines are the largest and well-known airlines. They offer global services carrying leisure and both business passenger and also the cargo. Okay, let me just zoom in a little bit more for you guys. Over the long distance, obviously these are the international airlines, so they would be covering the long distance between one continent to other continent and the other country to another country. International airline usually have multiple airports hub which provide customer with access to hundred of global destination. Do not worry about this hub thing or the point to point thing, because when we move forward there is a very good explanation regarding this point to point or the hub way of operation, and I will explain it in detail. Okay, so just keep listening and try to absorb things as much as possible, because whatever you need to know about the airline industry in this pre-scene, you are given every information. Guys, is everything fine? Okay, thank you. All right. So now we have the national airline. The national airlines, what they do, they focus on offering services within their home country. Obviously, by name, they are national airline. They operate nationally. All right. But many also offer access to international destinations as well. Obviously, they are national airline, but sometimes they do offer the international, I would say, fare. But the thing is that obviously they would not be traveling to the far countries or far continents. They would be operating in nearby countries or nearby continents. Obviously, like from Pakistan to India, from Pakistan to Dubai, UAE, Dubai, Saudi, China, Iran, like these, because they are close, but not from Pakistan or India, from subcontinent to Europe, to America, to Australia. Obviously, these national airline, they cannot do this thing. A national airline is likely to have a smaller aircraft fleet than the international airline and offer also services to both leisure and business passenger, obviously. So the leisure and business passenger, they both are entertained by the national and the international airline, and they are saying that obviously since they are national airline, so they have the smaller aircraft fleet. Okay, let me just clear one thing, that the aircraft, this aircraft means the airplane, okay, the airplane itself. And the fleet is basically the, I would say, when we have more than one aircraft or the group of aircraft which are owned or which are operated by the company, when we collectively talk about them, we say them are fleet. Okay, so they are saying that they have a smaller aircraft fleet, so they do not carry or they do not hold too many aircrafts with them. We are not saying that they have a smaller aircraft, I'm saying that the fleet is small. Getting my point? Next, we have the regional airlines. They focus on services within specific regions, for example, a continent. So they are, kind of airlines which are only operating within the Hundria, the countries within the Hundria or the specific areas of the Hundria or any country. In some cases, they provide passenger services to location not offered by either national or international airline. So they are sort of the balancing kind of thing in the industry. Those location or those destination which are not covered by the regional or the national airline, they provide services to these location or the destinations. Okay. So now we have the airline by business model. We have full service carriers, low cost carriers, and the charter airline along with the cargo airline. So these are the kind of business model for the operations, right? This was the, I would say, scope of your destinations, like where do you operate, where do you fly, and this is how you fly, how you operate. Okay, so you should know the difference between them. Full service carrier, obviously, they have a range of pre-flight and onboard services within the price of the ticket. Obviously, their ticket includes a wide range of services and the onboard services with it. Okay, because they are full services carriers. These include checked-in baggage, in-flight meals, airport lounges, multiple services classes like economy, business, and the first class, such as first class, business, economy. They usually fly national, international, long haul, short haul flights. So the haul word, it means the distance of the journey. So if it is a long haul flight, it means that they are like more than 6 hours flight. If they are short haul flight, that means they are less than 6 hours. It's a typical bifurcation between them. Low cost carriers. Low cost carrier aims to gain a competitive advantage over a full service carriers by reducing cost. Obviously, it is their competitive advantage that they would be offering the flight tickets or the service at the low cost so that they can overcome the full services competition. And they do compete in several ways. How? They have smaller fleets. See, again, they are saying the smaller fleet, smaller aircraft now, by offering a limited services. So the services are very limited. It is a standard kind of services or the ticket in which you are only offered the air transport, no extra additional benefits or the services. By flying to a smaller and less popular airports where landing and ground handling fees are cheaper. Obviously, because at airport the landing fees, whatever the operations are conducted on the airports, like checking, security, air airplane maintenance, your baggage and everything, they need a cost. Okay, so when you are flying from a less popular and the smaller airports, the ground or the landing charges, they are very low there, so that gives you a cost advantage. Okay. And the other thing is that when I was reading the pre-scene, I have identified that the major cost of the Corjetz is coming from this thing, the landing and ground handling fees. Obviously, since you yourself are a low cost airline, you are working on the no frill strategy. So you should also adopt this strategy from flying to smaller or the less popular airports, okay, so that you can somehow reduce your cost and align it with your strategy if it is possible for you, because obviously you have to look after this thing as well, that you cannot leave your popular airports or the popular destination just to reduce the cost. It might have a negative impact or the recoil impact, that you would lose your revenue in trying to reduce your cost by going to these airports. For customer, flights from low-cost carriers are offered significantly cheaper, such as in-flight meals, baggage allowance will not be included in the price of the ticket. As I just explained you that the additional services, they are not included in the price of the ticket. So if you need them, you have to pay for it, because these are the low cost and the standard services. They have to pay extra for them, okay, if you need these services. And they only offer the economy and the business class. Obviously in first class, you give the extra or the lavish or leisure kind of services. So how you can operate on the low cost model if you are working on the first class model. So that is why obviously it's by nature the first class option would not be available here. Charter airline, they are not a regular or scheduled airline. How many of you guys have rented a taxi or car in advance for some family or the office trip? Do you guys get this idea? So these charter plane are kind of these planes which do not operate on a like pre-scheduled time. They are booked in advance, okay, by a group, or you can say by a specific people who wants to go to a specific destination on a specific time. So they book this charter plane and they travel through it. They make an arrangement to fly from one place to another place on their own time. But normally what happens is that if I have to fly from one place to another place, I will go to the website and see that what flights are available on which date and what time. I will adjust my schedule as per the airline time. But in charter plane or the charter airline, you do not adjust by the time of the airline, you book them, right? So this is the major difference in it. So the charter airline focus on providing passenger food service to tourists to a specific destination. In most cases, they do not sell airline ticket directly, but instead enter into the agreement with tour operator, who then take the responsibility for finding the passengers for them. For some religious trips also, when there is a season, what do they do? The travel agents, they purchases the ticket of the whole plane, and then they sell the tickets to the people who are traveling to that specific destination for the specific festival or the specific occasion, right? So this is how the charter airline business model works. And then we have the cargo airline. Obviously we all know that they are used to transport the goods from one place to another place. And normally how does it works, that the airline companies, they make a subsidiary or the subdivision for this operation, the cargo operation, okay. So this is, if so far we are clear, just let me know so that we can move forward, because this is the pre-scene which is for your mock. Guys, are we clear up till now? Can I move ahead? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So now we have the hub and spoke versus point to point travel. So here is the diagram. See how from point to point, the flight will start from this point to this. It will start from this without stopping at any point. It will directly travel from one point, from the starting to the destination. Okay. It will departure. It will do the departure from one place, and it will directly fly to the destination. But in hub and spoke, what do they do? For example, if uh, my airline is flying from this place to this place, but here is Mr. A. That Mr. A does not want to go along with me to the final destination. Mr. A wants to go from here to here. So now Mr. A can take or buy the ticket of my airline, come with me to the hub, and then travel from hub to the final destination with another airline. Okay, he can go by land, by sea, by air to with another airline. So this is the model of the hub and spoke business model. Is it clear now? See, this is what I was talking about. That once the point will come, I will explain it. Are we clear with the point to point and the hub and spoke business model? Okay. So here we have, the same thing which I just explained to you in the written form. Let me just go through it quickly. That they fly from one airport to the hub airport with the passenger, then connecting from the hub to onto a flight to their final destination. We are talking about hub and spoke. Um, Obviously, the airline which are operating on hub and spoke model, they offer more flights to the passenger because if the passenger is wanting to fly from here to there, here to here, here to here, or if here to here, it has many options and many flights available for it. But if I'm trying to go from here to here, I will only have few flights because these flights are dedicated to the particular destination, but they are working on the, I would say, shared or the common stopping or the resting point or the hub point, right? So this is how the customer or the passenger gets the more option of the flights, because all the flight will ultimately come at the hub. Hmm? So it optimizes the airline network and coverage. The alternate to this point to point model, where the airline focusing on providing passenger with route from origin to final destination, and it has proved to be a popular with the airline customer in the recent year. Which option? The point to point. And most of the low cost airline operate this model, right? So we are also a low cost airline. We are working on the no frills strategy, so we also prefer this point to point business model. Now we have the key statistics of the 2000X2, the global as compared to the Hundria. The people transported passengers per year. Globally, it was 3 billion people, and in Hundria, it was 600 million. So, in this case, the global ratio is more, and the average number of commercial flights per day. The commercial flight per day, it was 73,000 globally, and in Hundria it was 15,000. So what I feel that as compared to the global, Hundria has the greater chunk being the single continent. Okay, so it has 15,000, somewhat I would say it is more than 20% of the ratio, so it's a substantial portion. Passenger revenues, it was 390 billion dollar globally, and 79.2 billion dollar within the Hundria only. So it tells that the airline industry of Hundria, it's a big industry, it's a substantial industry as compared to the global. Flight management activities are provided by the airport. Flight management activity, they include the ground handling, landing, every kind of security, checking, check-ins, baggage delivery, or the airplane maintenance, cleaning, everything. These kind of activities are managed by the airports, and airline pay these airport for these services. I've done this client as well who provide these kind of services, so I know about it. The air traffic control, ATC. The air traffic control is vital aspect of the air transportation, obviously, because we all know that in while you are traveling in the air, obviously you do not have signals, you do not have the roads, it's a open air, but still you have to somehow manage the air traffic so that the planes does not crash, right, with each other. So these are carried out by the ground based personnel, specially trained in monitoring air traffic in a specific location. Obviously, if you are not able to monitor or manage the air traffic, it will create a huge problem for the airlines or the aircraft which are flying. ATC is responsible for moving aircraft safely and efficiently through the airspace system. Aircraft controller ensure that the aircraft remain at the set distance apart while moving them between airports along the set flight paths. So there is open place, open air, but you still have to follow the uh, air flight path which you are assigned by the ATC. Okay. Aircraft ground handling, it is a wide range of services provided to facilitate passenger within an airport and to facilitate an aircraft ground positioning both before and after the flight. We all have seen that the airplanes are carried away from the runway after they have landed, and they are taken on the runway before their departure by some towing cars or the towing machines, right? So these are also covered in the ground handling or the landing activities or the services. It includes the baggage management, sorting passenger baggage and loading and unloading baggage into and off the aircraft. Obviously, who does it? There is services or the people who give this, who do this job. Customer service management, including gate assessment, assignment. Obviously, there are people on the like we have the connecting thing from the airport to the airline, and there are people on the airline gates as well, shops and waiting areas. These kind of thing comes into the customer service management. Aircraft boarding management, opening operating shuttle bus services between airport and the aircraft, ramp facility, passenger travel documentation, everything. Aircraft towing and refueling services, movement of the aircraft to or from a parking stand from one gate to another gate, and the refueling of the aircraft using fuel purchased by the airline. So the fuel is purchased by the airline. The cost of the fuel is borne by the airline itself. The airport is not responsible for it. Airport security, pre-flight passenger screening, security check, baggage scanning, passport control, all on-site security management carried out to protect airport building, runways, and machineries so that some sort of mishap does not happen. We have the industry challenges. How many do we have? We have six industry challenges. Number one is the demand is cyclic, right? It is not even, so it is cyclic, and it is driven by the economic growth. Obviously, if the economy is in the boom, people will travel more. There would be more business trips, there would be more leisure trips. Both are connected with the economical growth. And since if the economy is not too good, it is not in the boom, still if you are offering the low cost services, you will have the competitive advantage over the other airlines. So this is all mentioned here. There is a high level of competition just because of this economic interference, that if the economy is down, then the airlines will reduce their costs in order to compete with each other and increase their revenues. There has been a challenge regarding the several geopolitical events. What are they? They are terror attacks, cyber attacks, extreme weather events. We all know these kind of activities has happened in the past, and we all are aware of it. The terror attacks, the plane hijack or the crash has been done. The cyber attacks happened. The plane is hacked. The airport is hacked, and all the system is hacked. And the extreme weather events due to which the plane has crashed or they were not able to land safely. So these kind of things has happened, and what they are doing, the cyber and terror attacks, they are impacting on the confidence of the customer, and the climate change is increasingly prominent to the global political agenda. Obviously, all the governments now, they are very much concerned about the climate change and the events which are happening due to the climate change. So the fuel is one of the biggest costs. The fuel is again a challenge, and why? Because it has the most volatile prices. The volatility is very high, and we all know it is all this drama has been running all around the world right now as well. Fuel costs represent over 20% of the most airline cost base. Annually, the price of the jet fuel is strongly correlated to the international price of crude oil. We all know that recently I'm auditing a oil refinery company. It has been in high profits because the crude oil prices has increased in the international market, and they had the stock with them, which they bought on the cheaper prices. So this is a very common thing, that if the prices in the international market increases, the fuel prices in the local market also increases. So this is very simple thing. It is very highly volatile because the prices of the crude oil, they are highly volatile, and the prices of fuel, they are also the volatile. And also the foreign exchange movement, they can hit you very badly, because these are in the foreign these are the foreign payments, and if the exchange rate move adversely, it will have a significant impact, because they consist of 20% of your cost base. Okay. There are still some ways away from operating aircraft with alternative fuels. People are trying to explore this thing, that we can use alternative fuel options rather than the oils, the crude oils, such as biofuels. Most airlines are still fully reliant on the crude oil. They are exploring, but still most of the airlines, they are fully reliant on the crude oil. Government and the customers, they are very concerned about the greener and uh, increasing environmentally sensitive. Their expectation for airline to operate in greener and increasing greener ways increasing. Obviously, we all know that the government and customer, they are very concerned about the environmental impacts, and they are expecting companies to shift to the greener ways of operation. And to survive this, all the companies, they are required to invest significantly in the alternative fuel sources. Environmental factors, obviously, it has been playing a very huge role, and the customers are increasingly aware of your carbon footprints. So obviously, those companies which are having the high carbon footprint, the customer won't be supporting them or won't be traveling through them. The other main issue is that despite the environmental concern, the commercial airline traffic is increasing by 5% in 2002, obviously, and the ATC department, which is controlling the air traffic, they are having the struggle to cope with the increasing flights. They are having the problems in managing the traffic, because the demand and the airlines travel and the destination, they are increasing. So it is also causing the delays in the flight as well. Similarly, airport around the world is struggling to cope with the demand from the airline for flight slots. What do they mean by the flight slots? Flight slots mean that obviously when you are landing your aircraft on some airport, you have to first take the uh, permission from that country or from that airport, that can we land our airline or the aircraft on your airport, and how much time do we have to land our aircraft and refuel it, maintain it, and then fly back. So this is something you have to book in advance. You have to take the slots the way you take the slots in the exam. So the airline, they are competing very hard, and they are finding difficulty to find the slots. So this is why, because the air traffic is increasing, and it also driving the aircraft cost of ground handling and service charges for the airline, because obviously the demand is increasing and the ground and handling charges are also increasing. We have some KPIs with us. The available seat kilometer, ASK. How is it calculated? It is calculated by number of seats available. You have to multiply it by the distance flown, like how many seats, how many distance you have traveled. So you multiply it and you come to the ASK. It is your indicator, and it indicates the capacity. Okay. Then we have revenue per available seat kilometer. How does it calculated? It is calculated by dividing the airline total revenue by its total ASK. So here you first calculated the ASK, and then you divided the revenue by the total ASK. It will give you the RASK. That means that like total how much revenue is divided to how much of your capacity. It will give you the potential revenue generation. Load factor tells you that how much of the percentage of checked in passenger in relation to the available seat. That means that how much your aircraft was filled and how much it was empty, like how much load it was carrying from one point to another point. It gives you the utilization thing, that if your aircraft is traveling empty, that means that you are not able to utilize the full potential of your aircraft. RPK, revenue passenger kilometer, it is calculated by number of passenger multiplied by the total distance traveled. It shows the number of kilometer traveled by the paying passenger, who are referred to as the revenue passenger. So those passenger who obviously everyone pays and then they travel. So what do? They multiply the passenger uh, number of passenger to the distance travel. So they come to know that how many kilometers they have traveled, which are paid. Okay. So the CO2, carbon dioxide per passenger percentage, obviously we all know it is the carbon footprint thing, that how much carbon emission you are doing, you divide it by the number of passenger. So like if one aircraft travel from one point to another point, so obviously it emits the specific amount of carbon dioxide. So when you divide it by the customer, then you come to know that how much carbon dioxide you emitted per person. And the punctuality, we all know that how many flights were landed on the time, and in punctuality thing we have the margin of 15 minutes. Industry body, there is a global trade association. What does it do? It formulates the industry policy, it promotes the awareness of the benefits which airline industry brings to the national and global economy. It sets the global standards, provide advices on airline safety and security by setting clearly defined rules. Now we have the Corjetz overview. It was all about the industry. Now we are moving towards the company whose case study we are going to attempt as a mock. So it was established 20 years ago by the two entrepreneurial brother Eric and Axel. So it is not the other two brothers who invented the airplane. So these are Eric and Axel. They had the interest in traveling, obviously, and what they did, they spotted a gap in the market. They saw that there are in market of Scotland for more convenient and affordable low cost air travel. No one was offering the convenient travel, which is also the low cost and the affordable. So the convenience and the affordability, they find this market gap, they identified it, and they entered into a market and they introduced the low cost airline operating model, and then they got the big breakthrough. Okay, so the low cost business model proved extremely popular. And why? Because of the convenience, because of the point to point services, and the significantly cheaper ticket prices than those offered by the existing full services carriers. So before these two brothers, there were only option of the full services carriers. They introduced this thing, and obviously it got very popular because of two things: the convenience of the point to point travel and the low cost. Hmm? Over the year, Corjetz had focused on operating flights to and from airports across Hungary with the highest customer demand, and continually looking for the opportunities to extend its network. So they have the routes or the destination which are highly demanded by the customers. They are operating on these routes. Okay, and also they are exploring the further routes which they can operate through. The cost efficiencies has been its overriding strategic focus. They are, beating their competitors due to the low cost strategy. So the cost efficiency has been their main strategy. This has been delivered through developing and maintaining long-term strategic partnership. Right? How they are getting the cost advantage? By making the long-term partnership with whom? With aircraft manufacturers, key airports, ground handling operators, maintenance contractor. Obviously, these are your major cost of this industry. When we'll go down and we'll see the components of the cost, we'll see that these are basically the major components of the cost of a company. So they have made a long-term partnership thing with the contractor who are providing these services. The aircraft which are owned by the Corjetz, they are latest and most efficient aircraft. Obviously, they are efficient. That means that they are consuming the less fuel and they are emitting the less carbon dioxide because they are modern. Low cost airline market share by passenger number, we have Courland, the country in which the Corjetz exist. LKK, Lackland, another country in the Hungary. Brigger, Broland, another country in the Hungary, and the other airline which are 27, which own 60% of the passenger. So 14%, 9%, and 70%. So we are among the big player of the market, right? And there are now 30 low cost airline operating across the continent. So they started this thing, and now the 30 airline, they are operating on the low cost model within the industry or within the continent. Eric and Excel both have retired from the business 10 years ago. Okay. The graph of the Corjet's growth, the routes or the destination, they were growing and they should have grown like this, but no, they did not. So what happened? There would be some issue which may be asked or may be asked from you to be solved in the exam. Okay. And just see that from the formation of the company, after the 10 years, the last 10 years it has been declining, and these are the last 10 years from when these two brother retired it. So there could be some reason behind it. Also the passengers, they were increasing and they should have increases like this, but they did not. And this has also happened in the last 10 years in which these two brothers have retired it. There could be some thing related to it. The ownership structure, Corjetz was listed. It is not listed right now. It was listed. 80% of the Corjetz shares are held by the large institutional investor. 10% of the shares are held by the Corjetz employee. Okay, so the major shareholder is the institutional investor, and we all have studies that what are they, right? These are the large organization who have the excess cash. 10% are owned by the employees, I guess some sort of employee share option or the employee stock option scheme or something like this. And the others are held by the retailers or the small investors. Magda Fix, it is the current CEO of the Corjetz and it has been in place for the last 10 years since these brothers retired. She was instrumental in achieving Corjetz listing. So she was the one who, initiated or carried out all these listing thing. But now Corjetz is not listed. Corjet's key resources. Number one is the routes. Their routes, they are very popular and they are profitable. Profitable, extensive portfolio. Across 130 airports across the Hungria, it is very popular with the customer. These routes are very popular. Like the passenger or the customer likes to travel to these destination or these routes. So we are operating on the popular airports or the destinations. Who finds the range of destination and frequency of the flight offered by the Corjetz very convenient and attractive. So the thing is that the destination and the frequency of the flights, this is the thing which is liked by the customers, right? The frequency at which the flights are flying and it is somehow matching with the customer. So this is somehow our I would say strategic competencies. Those competencies, these are the unique competencies which we have, through which we are able to have the competitive advantage over our customer competitor. It regularly reviews its route networks to exploit the latest demand opportunities. So this is a good thing. Fleets, okay, these are the collection of the aircraft. So it operates through a modern fleet of 300 aircraft. 75% are owned and 25% are leased, and leasing is a very common thing in the airline industry. Corjetz has heavily or significantly invested in the latest aircraft which are fuel efficient and environmentally friendly, which I just told you guys. It has contributed to its low cost strategy. Obviously, if they are fuel efficient, they will give you the cost advantage. And also it has a positive impact on the reducing carbon emission. The government and the customers would be giving you the preference over the others. Average aircraft is 4.5 years old. The used life, I'm not saying about the useful life, I'm saying the used life, 4.5 year, which is low to compare to the industry standard. So the aircraft we are using are very modern and the new. Obviously if they are new, they would be efficient, they would be less, they would be consuming less fuel, and they would require less maintenance, because older the thing, the expensive it gets to operate. Corjetz focuses on leisure passenger rather than the business passenger. Why? Therefore, it is aircraft cabin consists of economy class seats only. So they do not have the business class or the first class. Obviously, first class it cannot happen because we are low cost airline, and they are not focusing on the business class customers. With the high density layout, high density layouts mean that the aircraft are made in such a way that the more passenger can travel through it. It has a wide seating capacities. Okay, so this gives Corjetz 150 seats per aircraft compared to the 140 seats to the smaller size aircraft operated by the competitors. That gives you the 10 extra passenger on your each air flight. And what do you do? The Corjetz, they are getting the 10 extra passenger in the one flight. What they are doing, they are giving back the cost advantage to the customer by reducing the price, because they are carrying more passengers, so they can reduce their price, because they can generate the overall revenue. For example, let me just explain it you very easily. For example, I am going with 10 customers, charging them $10,000. It will give me it will give me $100,000, right? For example, if I am operating on 14 passenger per flight, so I can somehow make it. If I would make it 9,500, still not 500. Let me just make it just to make a good example. Let me make it 15. Okay, so I have reduced 500 per flight, so that it will give me again the same revenue. So this is how you are giving the cost advantage to your customers. So this has been the strategy of the Corjetz. This is mentioned here, right? The technology thing, the technological aspect, it applies data analytics extensively. Consider data to be the key of the business resource, and it early adopts the latest technologies. So these are the good things, or the, I would say, positive sides of the business. And what do they include in the use of technology? Mobile app, it helps you to book flight, check in flights, download boarding passes, receive real-time flight status, reduces cost, live data from airport information system, personalized instruction. These are all done by the mobile app. Automated baggage check-in machines to help reduce check-in queues. Electronic touchpad to reduce laptops, and printed navigational chart for the pilots, reduces carbon dioxide emission per flight. Aircrafts are fitted with the big data servers. Continuous in-flight data about the flight and the engine performance is stored in these servers, which are connected with the flight somehow through the electronic means. Okay, so these are the very good things. And the people aspect, it is their resource again. So we have 11,800 staff, 200 pilots, 600, 500 cabin crews. Cabin crews are the employees which work in the aircraft, right? Um, they provide the regular updates to their employees on key business issues. So they make them involved in the business. They take the regular, they give the regular updates to the intranet. We all know the internal system. Monthly meet the board online chat and a weekly staff newsletter. All Corjetz employees undergo a full induction program, access to online learning resources, career development opportunities, regular and scheduled managerial appraisal of their performances. So these are the perks, or these are the benefits, these are the advantages which they are giving to their employees. So this is a good thing. Board structure, it's a very clear thing. 6 executive director, 5 non-executive director, including the chair. So we have the chair. Below chair we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5 non-executive directors. Among them we have one senior executive, non-executive director. These are independent, obviously. And then we have the chief executive officer, the head of the executive directors. We have the people director, marketing, commercial, information, and the finance director. These are the executive directors. They also have the subcommittees: audit, nomination, remuneration, safety committee. So you should be looking out for the question or the requirement. It might come that you have to evaluate the composition and the roles or responsibilities of the subcommittee, right? And also you might be asked the question related to the NEDs and the responsibilities, the benefits, right? So be prepared. Risk management and the key areas. It has a detailed risk register. Board has the responsibility to identify the nature and extent of the risk which Corjetz is going to accept. The internal control and risk management, it is also part of the board to formulate and manage this thing. Risk management activities are coordinated by the risk and assurance team led by the risk manager, who reports to both the chief financial officer and the chair of the audit committee. So far something okay, there is no issue in it. Key risk included safety and security of customers and the staff, Climate change, increasing expectation of the governments and the customers, we all know. Focus on the environmental and sustainability activities, macroeconomic and geopolitical events such as the economic trends, foreign exchange rate, volatile fuel prices, terror attacks, cyber attacks, all kind of things. Availability, security, and performance of its website. Obviously, website is one of your key thing to operate. If it goes down or it is hacked, your whole operation would be stopped. The extract of the website, we are clearly saying that we offer low fares flights to the places our customer most wanted. Obviously, we have the most popular routes on our cards. So we are trying to offer the affordable and sustainable air travel. So you have to, if something is something related to the which goes against the environmental aspect, you would be mentioning that it is against your mission statement. Your values, it are these are sustainable behavior, committed to safety, building customer trust, drive innovation, people first. So these all include health, safety, security, emergency, satisfaction, customer data, bribery, corruption, technology, innovation, engaging, fair reward, development to your people. Sustainable behavior by managing your emissions, efficient aircraft, minimizing your waste, and these kind of things. Some more details about your values, but these are the at the macro level, the core of your values. And then finally, we have the headline result or the cost breakdown. So the revenues, if they were increasing like this, they should have reached here, but they could not. They stopped here. There might be some reason which maybe you would require to ask, or you would be given some sort of problem which you can connect with this revenue decrease or not increasing in the trend, right? Profit before tax, it was going like this and then this and then this. So there are some again the irregularities in it, but again somehow the decrease in the revenue or the shortfall in the revenue is less than the shortfall of the profit before tax. So somehow you are cost efficient and are able to reduce your administrative or the operational cost. That is why you are able to have the high profits despite shortfall in the revenues. This is just my suggestion or expectation, or you can say the educated guess based on the pre-seen. I have not seen the paper. I'm not going to discuss anything about the paper with you right now. So the ROS we have, it is increasing, then it went down, and then it has increased. So again, punctuality it decreased, it increased, and now it again is decreasing. So these are the, I would say, some key non-financial indicators of your performance. Customer satisfaction, it went up, went down, and then it went up. So somehow your punctuality is decreasing, but the customer satisfaction is increasing. I don't know how it is, but you have to look after it. Cost breakdown. So the cost breakdown is depreciation and leasing is 8%. Obviously, we have only 25% of the leasing aircraft. Others 9%, fuel cost 22%. So the average industry is 20, but we are going up by 22. We have to find out this thing. Airport ground handling fee, it is the highest chunk, I guess. Yes, it is the highest chunk of your cost, right? So you have to look for it. And if you can, suggest some recommendation if asked regarding this thing in order to increase your operational efficiencies and increase your profit after tax or before tax. Crew cost, pilot, cabin crew, it is 15%. Air traffic control cost, ATC 9%. Maintenance cost 6%. It's very low, obviously, because you have the modern aircraft and it should be low. Sales and marketing 4%, or maybe it is high. I don't know because I do not have the comparative data. So if you are given some comparative data in the exam, you can link it with the maintenance cost and you can comment whether it is high or low and say that despite having the new or the modern aircraft, why your maintenance cost is high. Sales and marketing, another thing. Notes, crew cost includes salary and training cost of the pilot and cabin crew. Obviously they should be trained because it's a very sensitive or the delicate industry. Any mistake could have a very serious consequences in terms of the life of the passengers. Other includes IT and head office administrative function costs such as finance, customer service, HR, management. So these are the centralized operation which are run by the Corjetz. So this was the whole explanation of the pre-scene. If you guys have any question, please do ask me, and then we can go towards the start of our mock. Guys, do we have any question? Do we have any question? No, no, no. Okay. So, how many of you have the pre-scene and the question with you? Have you downloaded it from the Google Drive or should I share it? No. Okay, let me share it on the listed part. Okay. Pooja, the company is not listed. The company is not listed. It was listed, and right now 80% of the shares are held by the institutional investors. These are the large organizations. 10% are held by the employees of the company, and the other rest of the shareholding it is held by the retail investors or the small investors. Right? Which is it clear? Okay, Hira, I will. No need to type it in caps. Yes, Rehan, I do have. What could be the reason behind low punctuality but increased customer satisfaction? Sahad, what do I feel like that there could be some customers. See, it just came into my mind that you guys are not offering the business class services. So the business class customer, they are very much concerned with the punctuality and the time of the flight and the landing and departure because they have the scheduled uh, I would say visit, right? But the leisure customer, they are not very concerned about the punctuality if the flights are getting delayed, or they need a smooth flight, low cost, good services, good and popular destinations, frequency of the flight. So that is why the customer satisfaction would be high despite having the low punctuality. Yes, 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 Pooja. So just let me share the documents with you so that you can start your mock. And please, guys, this mock has to be with the timer, and you guys are not allowed to take a break in it. So the proper way, we will solve this paper in the proper way in exam environment. Can we take a break now for 5 to 10 minutes? Yes, you. This is the break for you. Meanwhile, I am downloading the paper and sending it to you. Pooja, isn't it? By the way, I should. I'm not. Because I have to go in a meeting after this. Okay, guys, can you please confirm me that have you guys received the pre-seen document? That won't be highlighted one because in exam you will not get this highlighted pre-seen. So have you guys received the pre-seen document on the WhatsApp group? I have just shared it. Can you please confirm? Saud is saying yes. Okay. Thank you, Saud. Now I'm Guys, please confirm me that you have received both question file and the pre-seen file in the WhatsApp group. Saud is saying, Musa is saying yes. I have everyone. Guys, are you all added to the group and you have received the question in the pre-seen file? Okay. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So, let me just go and have one more file notebook. So right now it is 8:41 p.m. in Pakistan. How much time do we have in SBL exam? Guys, I need you to tell me. How much is it? 4 hour? 15 minutes? 3 hour, 15 minutes. So we will start at 8:45 and our mock will be finished on around 11. 11, yes. 9, no, 15 and 9, 10 and 11, 12. Will end at 12 p.m. in Pakistan time. right? Yes, AM, you can say. My bad. Right. So, guys, please attempt this mock religiously with all honesty, with all punctuality and the discipline. No need to go anywhere. Feel like it is exam. Even if you are getting no clue, no idea about any answer, just try to attempt it whatever you can, because in exam it will be the same situation. It is exam paper and it was tested in the September 2023. So feel like you are a student sitting in the September 2003 paper. What will happen with you is what would have happened if you were there in the September 2023 attempt. So if you are prepared, if you are passing the September 2023 attempt, then inshallah you will be passing the coming September 2025 attempt as well, right? So just waiting for the time and then we can start. And those students who are registered with me, they will send me the email at this email address. Musaddiq.keswani @gmail.com. At, I'm not giving you too much time. It would be 12:05 a.m. Any answer script received after this, I will not check it, I will not review it. Okay. So you have to be very careful. You can send it to me either in the Word format or in PDF format. Any way you can send it to me, but within this time. After this time, if I am receiving it, I will not check it. So this is very clear. Please do not say this to me that, sir, please check it or not. If you are sending it after this time, no excuses. So the time starts now. Start the paper.